Have you ever seen a guy with beards and in your head, you just conclude that this guy must be a confident man? Or have you seen a woman sing so well and you subconsciously conclude in your mind that she might be a good wife? While researching on this video, I stumbled upon an example of two doctors, a very good, presentable doctor and an unattractive, very looking old man. And the question was asked, who would you trust with your life for his surgery among these two men? Now, I'm sure a lot of people would decline the old man, and, basically that's a very funny way of describing the halo effect. And it's just the same way two people will go for an interview and perform equally well. Odds are that the attractive person will receive the job. The employer might not even know this, especially if the candidate is an opposite gender from the gender of the employer. It's the same way why a teacher would just naturally be comfortable with some students and even give them upper hand. Personally, I've never met a teacher's favorite in my secondary school that was actually ugly. As a matter of fact, a research was done where some students did a test. The more attractive students aced it, while the less attractive students seems to be average. The same students were later given the same test via online method, and it was discovered that the less attractive students actually passed more. The good-looking attribute of people usually make them appear intelligent, confident, and strong. Almost the same way in the Bible, Prophet Samuel would have mistakenly anointed the wrong person because of looks. Now, whether you like it or not, you are constantly judged by your appearance. In fact, if you ask the employer in my previous illustration that employed the more attractive person that why did he do so, you'll be surprised to hear something like, I like the way that guy carried himself. I like the way that candidate, presented himself. This candidate seemed to be more ambitious and likable. It's just a pure, subconscious art. It's actually a very pure subconscious art, right? And psychology calls this cognitive bias the halo effect. Now, study also shows that physical beauty has a way of compromising our judgment subconsciously. According to studies again, according to, if I'm being correct, Psychology Today, attractive people, both men and women, earn an average of 3 or 4% more than people with below average looks, which adds up a significant amount of money over a lifetime. Now, halo effect is the reason why some people get obsessed with some celebrities. And even when they do wrong, you hear something like, she can do no wrong in my eye. I'm sure a lot of people have actually heard that, right? So please also note that the halo effect is not limited to looks only. The truth is, halo effect is real, and unfortunately, we cannot control how people feel. But there are some things we can actually control, especially in an official environment. We can alter the perspective of how we are seen, and don't forget, in most scenarios, perspective can be more potent than reality. So because I don't want to bore you, I'll just talk on 3 steps, 3 things how you can be ahead as regards to career management. Emphasis on career management, that's the scope, right? Number 1, look nice. Now, why you might not need to change your look, or not everyone can change their look. It's a good thing that style and hygiene are part of your appearance. Dress well and maintain a personal good hygiene. Having a body odor will always deface you, no matter how good looking you are. Now, so for example, I remember I have a friend back then working in a big 4 in the UK, and she told me that in her firm, only people with certain level of clearance, certain high-ranking managers are allowed to use a particular space for meetings, right? But there was this particular man who wasn't even close to a manager, and they had never stopped him from using this space to buttress well. In fact, they retained the spot for him at times. Once he mentions he wants to use this space, in most times, they actually plan ahead for him. This is someone that wasn't even close to this level of managers. Meanwhile, my friend that was a senior manager, I've actually been confronted a couple of times. Whenever she tried to use the office space. She always tried to, she always tried to tell them who she has and announce herself, which is quite funny, right? Anyways, the case in point is that the man that was allowed, the man that was always given that privilege, had an amazing courage and fashion sense. right? He carried himself with so much elegance and dressed smartly, right? He actually dressed like the manager. And guess what? He was treated like one. So dress well, smell nice, and be neat. Personally, I've heard about people getting jobs without actually doing the interview. They just get to the venue, and for some reasons, the interviewer speak interest in the applicant and they began to chat all the way. You'll be surprised. So number 2, demonstrate competence, right? So there's this post that I saw from one of my top mentors that buyers bows to competency. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. The truth is, when you are good at your job, one day, somehow, somewhere, you definitely get your recognition, especially if you fall on the wrong side of the halo effects. Or it's also called the on effects. Even my favorite book will tell you that, do you see a man skillful and experienced in his work? He will stand in honor before kings. Just for those that want to know, Proverbs 22 verse 29, right? Number 3, which is the last, build relationships. Invest in building genuine relationships with colleagues, clients, or stakeholders. Personal connections can help counteract negative impressions, right? You subconsciously build a network of people who can advocate for you and expand your professional network. Having influential people vouch for you can significantly improve your standing, right? And remember, always look for shared interests or experiences that can serve as a foundation for your relationship. So I think I'll just be coming to the end of this. Well, I trust you also found value from this video. Kindly like and help share. I actually put a lot of work into this video, so it will go a long way. Basically, till I drop another video. Enjoy.